Hi guys, I am just out and about. I actually Mondays are busy and it's already after 1. Just gonna turn on the air a little bit. It is a little bit cooler out, but keeping the windows up kind of makes it warm. So let me just do this. All right, so I just thought I'd come on and again make a short video. I've gone back in the timeline of the whole cancer journey, and there's a lot to really share, a lot. And I think what I'll do, instead of posting little videos every day, is I will go about piecing this together, showing you the timeline, showing you her words, because I'm not even going into gems. To listen to a whole video, sometimes, you guys know as well as I know, it can be very difficult. Even mine could be very difficult for people to watch. I get that. But there's like a lot of key things that I think I missed and didn't catch on to because you get distracted. So I found the best way for me is just leave my phone on the counter, put the earbud in, and just listen. And then what I did was I went back, I took a screenshot of the video with the date that it was uploaded. And the timeline and what happens, there's a story to tell there. And it's not the story that she's telling. So I just wanted to share that. I am gonna start focusing more just my inner peace, because my inner peace left me for a little bit, which that's never a good thing, you know. And I'm back. I'm back. I'm feeling like I'm at peace. I know what I do. I know what I've done. And when you just come out and you just say, hey, you know, this isn't right, or that isn't right, or that doesn't make sense. There's people that don't agree with you, and that's fine. It's just, and this is old news, it's just what happened behind everything that got to me. And that's not going to happen anymore, because I can't. It takes away from my joy, right? We all should have joy, right? As our friend says, it's about joy. And it's just, it doesn't involve me like that. The only thing that I'm going to stand behind is someone faking stage 4 cancer is beyond one of the worst things you could do. You know, another one of the worst things you could do was saying that I wish my husband would have treated me like I had cancer for a couple of days a month. That's beyond too. That's a little, I've never heard anybody say something like that. Also, when she was talking about getting her port and she was able to sing that song that the Fry Life did, No More Needle in My Chest, and she was happy about it, and then played it down and said she wasn't. Yes, she was. And a lot of people with osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, different types of arthritis that make your bones weaken, they could go for some immune therapy type of sessions. Also, she did mention in another one about 2 radiation treatments on her shoulder. She's really never mentioned biopsy reports. She's really never mentioned tumor markers. She's mentioned how, you know, as we've said before, the immune therapy, the chemotherapy, the back brace was a cause of her, as she calls them, boo-boos, which they're not boo-boos, they're bed sores. She can't admit to that yet. There's a lot of things that she can't admit to. And you know what? When we're right, we're right. When we're wrong, we're wrong. If we're coming about this in the right way, because there are thousands of subscribers that don't believe it, right? So all her loyal subscribers that she had, if you go back in time, and I'll see people that are on my channel that were on her channel that were supporters. So, you know, and people say, well, you gained subscribers because of. Okay, well, I put a video out there. Maybe I should have never did it, but again, it was a concern. It's still a concern too that she is not more mobile than she is. It's a concern that her best friend is there with her, and her best friend has lost weight. And then she goes on to say, well, I gained 70. And she goes, well, really 100. So she put on 100 pounds. And someone mentioned something about Lisa. And she said, oh, Lisa eats like a bird. She barely eats. No, maybe she eats like 1,200 calories or 1,400 calories per day. And to you, that might seem like a bird. But she said she's been on diets. She has tried diets. And I keep thinking, like, you know, you're still young at 51, going to be 52, right? Or 50, I don't even know. But you're still young enough where if you want the life of being mobile, getting up and doing things, you could always go the gastric bypass route, right? That's what it's called, gastric bypass. You could always go that route and make yourself better, you know, help yourself a little bit. That's the concern. Another thing, when she was talking about all this protein she needed with kidney cancer, no, you don't need a lot of protein. They tell you what to avoid. They tell you to avoid sugary things. And the question is too, you know, you are off of your diabetes medicine. So if you're off metformin, that could also explain some of the weight gain, right? Because usually a diabetic that goes on metformin and starts getting their diabetes under control, they'll start losing some weight. I mean, it happened to me, it happened to my dad, it happened to my mom. So I've seen it firsthand with friends as well. Actually, my great niece as well. So it assists you with some weight loss because it gets your diabetes under control. She did speak about bone strengthening for her bones. That's why my gut feeling now is that she did break her back, but I don't know if it was from falling off the bed or pushing the H cabinet. I mean, for God's sakes. I don't know. But I keep recording and I keep putting the video out. And I'm sorry. I know some people get upset. And some people think that I'm being mean-spirited. And I apologize. I don't mean to be mean-spirited. What I do is I get frustrated. And when I get frustrated, I get very vocal. I get very vocal to where I come out and I bluntly say things. Probably not the right way to react, right? But when I do go and watch other reaction channels and people are calling me a bully, and I go through their comments and I'm like, unless they could be deleting though, let's not lie about that. For the longest, you know, I let all the hate stay up, all the fake name, I let it. Then it came to a point, well, okay, can't do it no more. Because it's not that any words got to me mentally. You could say all you want. She's ugly. She's old. She doesn't know what she's talking about. You could say anything. It's just when the family got brought in. I am a mother bear. And I would like to think that every mother out there would stand up for their family the same way. I think that is something that is instilled in, or it's instilled in my family at least. I mean, my mother, and it goes back to when I was a single mom. I protected my boys. I had to be that mom and that dad. When they got older and I could focus just being on the mom, and, you know, I was the one playing baseball with them. I was the one doing football with them. I mean, actually out there playing the game with them and teaching them things. So yes, my sons, we were like, and we still, even JR, he went through all his, you know, hard times with what he went through with the drugs and the addiction. Now that he is happy and healthy, our bond is so close. We joke around, we snark on each other, we laugh. Just today in the car, we were joking around and laughing, and he actually had to go to his drug counseling, and he does that every 2 weeks because he goes the Monday before his drug court, and drug court is every 2 weeks. So on Monday he has probation, and then he has the drug counseling. Anyways, but him and I will just snark on each other back and forth, and, you know, he's bringing up something, he's like, I can't believe I did that, like, wow. And then we laugh about it and like, yeah, but it's in the past. Even though you make mistakes or do not do things correctly, as we age and our processes change, you correct them. You know, I used to be, back in my early 20s, late 20s, if someone said something to me wrong, I let them know. If someone looked at me wrong, I would look at them and say, what are you looking at? That was me. And that person, it was just, I think I felt like I had to protect everything. I had to protect myself. I had to protect my boys. And then as I got older, I'm like, I don't want to be that way anymore. I don't want to, you know, have someone look at me the wrong way and go, excuse me, what are you looking at? You know, or excuse me, do you have something to say? I don't want to be like that, because genuinely it doesn't bother me now that God rest my son that passed away, but my baby is 35 years old. You know what I'm saying? So he is capable of standing up for himself. But if it's me who's talking the shit, and then to bring the family in, that's where you're crossing the line. That's where I got rude. I reacted. It is what it is. I'm sorry if I've said things that have hurt people's feelings. I'm sorry if I have cursed and people don't like cursing. For the longest time, I wasn't cursing. So, it changes a person, and you just have to learn, I guess, to roll with it. And I'm rolling with it. I'm rolling with it, because the thing that they want done, and they meaning the Hensons, nobody else, they want me to shut my mouth. Why do I say that? Okay, Lisa reached out to me first, then Jerry reached out to me and sent me all her medical documentation, then the reporter reached out to me, and then Jim comes on my live streams. So they want to keep me maybe close for a reason, because I'm not stopping, because I don't believe they're stage 4. I do not believe that Jim, to this day, knows the true story, is what I'll say. Has he played into some of it? Yeah. He's played into some of it. And he has said himself that, you know, he didn't want the puppy. It wasn't time for the puppy. She would have a doctor's appointment. He would have to go pick up some type of order, or he had an eye doctor's appointment. Something conflicting where he wasn't in the office with her. The one time, I guess she said he was in the office, he only heard about the limitations of lifting. Well, Jim, if you really want to know what's going on with your doctor, or with Jerry and her doctor, I would hope that she signed you up as the next contact. And you could find out yourself by simply calling. If not, you could definitely make sure you go to her oncologist and ask. This is stage 4, grade 4, correct? You can ask questions on behalf of your wife with your wife in the room. I'm just saying, let's get that over with. And And if the doctor tells you no, don't go and back up her lie, because that would make you just as guilty in this fraud. And that's what it's been, is a fraud. She also took her PayPal off when it got put up to, well, you get 1099s. And also, as of a certain date, I want to say it was February maybe of this year, anything 600 or more is reported to the IRS, but you still get a 1099. Well, that's when you came out with that P.O. box. You were so tickled pink. You expected to get more than what you received. And with a P.O. box, you don't really claim gift cards and cash donations and checks. I mean, you yourself said you haven't had to file income tax because you didn't make enough money. So these are where my thoughts are going, and I'm going to keep sharing it, and I'm going to put up a timeline. So enjoy your day, everybody. I will.